Leftists hate him. Nobody ignores him. It's the Charlie Kirk Show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Radio stations across the country, streaming, and then on podcast. Back by popular demand. And I actually do mean that. It's not just me making a silly joke. These episodes absolutely fly. I don't know why. Maybe they like Alex Clark. Maybe you all are just starved for pop culture and how it relates to the world and the culture at large and politics and all of those things. We have a star-studded cast, and I will start with our newest addition. She just ran in here, and she made it just in time. Alex Clark, TPUSA contributor and pop culture icon herself. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I got in at the skin of my teeth. Fashionably late.
Fashionably late, per usual. And Daisy Phelps, one of the producers on the show.
Hi.
Resident Swiftie. Drives us all a little bit nuts, but that's okay. Swiftie is an American icon. It's important to be up in the know. And then Blake Neff, who hasn't really been in touch with pop culture since Guns N' Roses.
I have
in the early
an Appetite
90s.
for Destruction shirt. It's one of the best albums ever made. Music went away.
We were singing Welcome to the Jungle this morning. I do believe it's facts. Fact check true. All right, so we have to do a pop culture update to inform the audience, let them know what the heck's going on. We've got Swifties for Trump, Brittany Mahomes. We've got breakups, contractual breakups. We got to make sense of all of this. There's also a Mormon story that's pretty spicy that we're going to get to, apparently. I know about as much as you do, so buckle up. Here we go. Let's start with this contractual breakup between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Is it totally debunked, or are they just CYAing right now?
I mean, they've said that it's debunked, but the date in the fake contract that said they were going to break up was September 28th. So I guess we won't really know until September 28th.
Well, they're not going to do the same date if they got outed on it. They're going to move it to, like, they might have just locked themselves into, like, the whole NFL season.
Well, we also will get a sort of an answer or a hint tonight if the Chiefs and Ravens play tonight, 8:20 p.m. Eastern time, if Taylor is at the game, which
okay, do we have pictures?
Are there signs of this
The Daily Mail
otherwise?
this morning said that Taylor would be at the game today.
Is there other evidence? Like, have they been out in public less than they were before? Or
Well, both of them have. He's been in training, and then she just finished her European tour, so then she was just taking a break, and then this is supposed to be like their first public moment back tonight.
Yeah, so let's explain what this leaked document allegedly
We have
said.
it, image 90. Throw it up, if you will, guys.
So here's what happened. Went viral yesterday on social media. There was allegedly a leaked contract from this company, Full Scope. It's a PR company that Travis uses, and it's basically outlining, like, there's going to be a breakup. Here's going to be the talking points of how we're going to say, the relationship ended.
Wait, what were the talking points? Did they?
It was very, very basic PR stuff, like respect and privacy for each other. It was a mutual decision. They're going to focus on
Boring.
their careers.
But kind of believable.
Okay, but here's the thing. So I'm curious what you think, Daisy, because you're the only other Swiftie on the panel, is that I think this is total fake news. I do want it to be known that the PR company made a statement saying this is completely, like, faked. Like, somebody made this, like, ChatGPT wrote this up. It's like my first assignment of senior year type of paper. It reads terribly.
Okay.
And they're like, we did not make this. They just put our logo on it to, like, have a viral story.
Have you ever met a publicist?
Well, I'm looking at one.
Yeah, okay. I can vouch. They're not the smartest people I've ever met.
I don't know how often Andrew's writing breakup statements, though. That's not his.
This is the truth. It was me, and I'm sorry. My idiocy has been exposed again.
I mean, really, your expertise, you would be the person to look at this and be like, this is real, and now they're trying to cover it.
No, I haven't read it. Send me a link, and I'll read it as we're talking here. But, okay. I mean, the respect our privacy, it was a mutual decision. We remain friends. Like, we support one another. Our schedules made it difficult to keep the relationship.
I mean,
essentially.
We're fixating on whether this is true, and the more important question is, should it be true?
No, it shouldn't.
It should not.
Wait, you like the relationship?
I love the relationship.
Okay.
I think this is, I think every conservative should love this relationship.
Mr. COVID shot?
Forget that. Here's the thing. I've said this before on the show. Taylor Swift is a flaming lib. This isn't new news.
So
out
is
of
Travis
all,
Kelce.
Right.
Well,
so the point is, out of all of the flaming liberal celebrities she could date, can we all agree he would be the best, most acceptable one?
What if it's like
well, everyone that she dated
like,
before this was like not even American. First of all, just like very beta British boys. artist, creative. Like Travis Kelce's like compared
It's
to all
weird
of
that
the
she
other
went-
ones,
that-
more manly.
I think this is what partly fuels some of the, let's call them conspiracy theories about the relationship, is that it is kind of an outlier in her guy picking history, correct?
I also
That's
want to
true.
say that his PR team, before when the relationship first happened, they were interviewed. Somebody on his team was interviewed, and they were like, okay, so we had planned for the entire year, like different things that we were going to do to help promote his image, like go on SNL, do all this. And they said the only thing that wasn't planned, the thing that shocked us that we never saw coming, was this relationship with Taylor. So that was months and months, I mean, a year ago at this point that interview came out. I think that that's interesting to note. And I also want to note that typical what you see in a PR relationship is you have one celebrity who is a lot lesser than, and then one celebrity that is huge that is needing to gain publicity. And respectfully, in both of their fields, they're both superstars. They're both at the top of their game.
But wasn't there that whole thing with all the women being like, Taylor Swift made Travis Kelce famous?
that was more
was
like
just a joke.
meme.
But it
a
was
joke.
kind
It is kind of true. Like
There was
he
a
is
whole TikTok
famous.
trend.
He's way bigger,
He's
though, now.
famous. He got way bigger. Like he would be. I would say you could arguably say he's like a top 2 most famous NFL player at this point.
Basically,
When
Patrick
before,
Mahomes is well,
he
and
was
Tom
maybe,
Brady.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
but
Tom
Are we
Brady.
talking about
Tom Brady-
current NFL
Well,
players?
yeah,
'Cause
current. Yeah, I don't know who would be bigger than him.
Mahomes.
Yeah,
say.
but Mahomes is partly famous because of his wife, which we could get into.
I
but
mean, it all ties together.
I mean, Mahomes is objectively like the probably the generational quarterback of his class. I would say Travis Kelce's a total stud. I'm not a Travis Kelce hater, actually, and I sort of agree with the fact that he's the least worst option I've seen Taylor Swift pick. That being said, if it was an arranged relationship, you know, kudos to the PR guy. I mean, if anything says this is a fake, is actually if this was an arranged relationship, they've actually executed it pretty amazingly and pretty flawlessly. I don't actually believe that, I don't think. But I do think because it's such an outlier is one of the reasons it's all like, this feels very... And the fact they won the Super Bowl, are you kidding me?
And he
It's
didn't
like
even
a
ask her to marry her,
storybook
like
ending.
on the field afterwards.
Or like
that
go
seems,
to Disneyland, you know? Like
I also
seems-
don't think his dad, Travis Kelce's dad, Ed, is just like a typical boomer on Facebook
He
and
was
very
banned from X,
unfiltered.
I saw at some point.
Really?
I think during 2020 he was banned from X.
Oh,
Trump voter.
juicy. Well,
Maybe.
he was, you know, since they've been dating, he shares news about them and talks about her and has given interviews, and he's just like so smitten with her, and it's just like she's the sweetest girl, most down to earth, so polite, good manners, like just so sweet around the family. I just don't see that guy as being somebody they could control if this was a PR relationship, because he almost shares too much.
Right.
Like, you know, the
Well, and the
And
brother
his mom shares a lot
and
too.
the brother
Yeah.
just got the big podcasting
They
deal.
both did. They got
100
over
million
over
or is it
$100
to them
million
together?
dollars. Yeah, over $100 million.
That's like Joe Rogan money.
From
That's what Joe Rogan
Wondery.
on his first Spotify deal was $100 million deal. And Travis Kelce, I guess both of them I didn't realize
But
it.
There's a
yeah,
lot
it's their
riding on
podcast
this relationship
together.
now.
But I think what's more interesting about that, and I didn't even plan to go into this, but Angelo and I talked about this a little bit last week, was with the Joe Rogan and the Alex Cooper, all of their podcast deals, it comes with their entire catalog of podcasts. New Heights is a relatively new podcast. They put out podcasts weekly. That's their podcast,
Yeah.
Jason and Travis. They put out podcasts weekly during the football season. They don't put them out weekly all year round, though, like especially during the off season. So they only had, I think, 70 or 80 episodes total in their catalog.
There's definitely going to be output.
I mean, Joe Rogan has
production limits.
hundreds of episodes
Yeah.
that they are buying when they give him that $100+ million contract.
Sure.
They're giving them $100+ million for everything that's going to happen in the future. I mean, even for the possibility of like a Taylor sit-down interview on New Heights, that's worth millions of dollars to them.
It's pretty remarkable actually what the brand of Taylor Swift can do, not only for herself but for those around her, which will lead us into our next question topic. I want to get into this Swifties for Trump thing because
Yes.
I think strategically it's a very smart move. Blake is making hand gestures over here. I will just say strategically it makes a lot of sense. All right, so before you turn off to the idea of Swifties for Trump, let's hear it out. Alex knows a thing or two about it. So we will be right back on the Charlie Kirk Show. The Pop Culture Power Hour will return. More coming up. Don't go anywhere.